Good morning, dear students. Today I will explain you chapter number 2, that is generations of computer. So in this chapter we will discuss about different generations of a computer. So firstly, let me make you clear that what is the meaning of a generation. So for human being, as you know, in our family, different age group people they live. For example, your grandparents is the senior most age group in your family. So their age group is a generation, followed by your parents, your mother and father. They are a different age group and it is also a generation. Then the children will be there, and the children they fall in a different age group. So the people of different age groups they are called different generations. Similarly, the computers they also have different age groups or different generations. In each generation there are some changes in the technology or the size of a computer. So for example, here we have the diagram of UNIVAC computer. As you know, UNIVAC was the first electronic computer, and the size of this computer was very big. Then after this generation we have PC, that is called personal computer. So comparatively the size of PC is very small than UNIVAC, and even the processing and the memory of this computer is much than UNIVAC. Next we have the desktop computer, and here you can see that we are using a TFT or LCD screen in place of monitor, and here the monitor is of black and white color, but nowadays we are using color screens. Here is the keyboard, here is the CPU, and here is the mouse. So little advancements are there in each generation. So after the desktop computer you have all-in-one computer. So here everything that is the CPU that is included in this screen only. You don't have a different CPU here, and even the mouse and keyboard they are wireless. So it is called all-in-one computer. Then notebook computers are there, then tablet PCs are there, smartphone is there, and computer stick is there. So this is the HDMI cable stick that you can connect with any device like television, and this stick is having an operating system also, and this stick, with the help of this stick you can convert any HDMI screen into a portable computer. So whatever you do with the help of computer, the same stick can do. So these all are the different generations of a computer. Next we have update your knowledge. The Intel computer stick is a device the size of a pen drive. So as you can see, this is a computer stick, and the size of this device is just like a pen drive size, that can turn any HDMI display or TV into a complete computer. So with the help of this device you can convert your TV into computer, or any display which is capable of connecting via HDMI cable, so that device can be used as a computer with the help of a computer stick. Here we have generations of computer. So what is the meaning of generation? Generation is a remarkable improvement. So any improvement which is remarkable in any product, not only in computers, in any product, that is called a generation. And generation of computer means remarkable development or growth in the computer technology. So there are five different generations of computer. So let's see them one by one. So the first generation of computers, they fall in the time slab of 1946 to 1958. So all the computers which were made during this time period, they were first generation computers. Now what is the technology in the first generation computer? Here we have vacuum tubes. So the first generation computer, they used vacuum tube. So this is the diagram of vacuum tube. So vacuum tube is just like a tube, and these vacuum tubes were used in computer. So these computers were very expensive, okay, and the consumption of electricity was very high, and definitely they generated a lot of heat. So the first generation computer, they used machine language. So machine language is the language of computer that is used to write programs for the computer. So ENIAC and UNIVAC. So ENIAC is the electronic numerical integrated and computer, and UNIVAC is the universal automatic computer. So these two computers, they belong to the first generation of computers. Here we have some features of first generation computers. The first thing is they used vacuum tubes, as I told you earlier. Second is they used machine language, and definitely the size of these computer UNIVAC and ENIAC, they were very big and expensive also, because vacuum tubes were used in these computers. That's why they produced a lot of heat, and definitely the processing speed or the operating speed of these computers were very slow. And due to the vacuum tube, because vacuum tubes, they have the tendency of fusing again and again, so that's why these computers were not more reliable. So these were the features of first generation computers. After the first generation computer, that is the after 1958, we have second generation of computers, that is the 1959 to 1964. So all the computers which were introduced during this time, they were of second generation. Now let's see what is the change, what is the technological advancement from first generation to second generation. So here is the vacuum tube that was used in first generation computer, and in place of vacuum tube, second generation computers, they used transistors. So here you can see the second generation computer, they used transistors in place of vacuum tubes. So this is the main change, this is the main technology that is used in second generation computers, transistors. Now transistors are also electronic devices, but they are superior than vacuum tubes. So that's why the size of computer became smaller, and the processing speed was increased, and these computers were cheaper than the first generation computer, and these computers, they are more reliable than first generation computer. So these all changes came because of the transistors. Then here in second generation computer, we used assembly language, not machine language. So IBM 140, Mark III, Leo are the example of second generation computers. What are the features of second generation computer. Firstly, they used transistors. Second, they used assembly language, okay, which is a low level language. So the cost of computer got reduced, so they were cheaper. The size was smaller than the first generation computer, and the operating speed was faster than first generation. And again, transistors also produced heat, and the memory or the storage of these computers was also less. So here is the picture of different transistors as you can see here. So all these electronic devices, they are called transistors, okay. So they are three leg devices. Actually there are three connectors, and these three connectors, they are connected with the help of a board, electronic board. So these are called transistors. Next we have the third generation of computer, and the time period is 1965 to 1970. So in this time period, the computers, they used integrated circuit, also known as IC, in place of transistors. So IC were used in third generation. So IC are the semiconductor chips, which are very powerful, and these chips actually increase the speed of and efficiency of computers. And the third generation computers could carry billions of instructions in few seconds. So this is the speed. So billions of instruction in just few seconds these computers can carry. So size of computer, these computer were very small because the whole computer could fit into a small cabinet. Then examples of third generation computer: IBM 360, ICL 1900, and CDC. Next we have the features of third generation computer. So here we have first point, they used IC, integrated circuits. And now this is the main thing, they used high level language in place of a low level, like COBOL, common business oriented language, and Fortran, that is the formula translation. So these languages were used in third generation computers. The size was very small, and these computers were very reliable, and these computers actually they generated very less heat because of IC. And the user can communicate, or user can interact with these computer with the help of keyboards and monitors. And the operating system was also introduced in these computers. Next we have some points, update your knowledge. ENIAC, that is the electronic numerical integrated and calculator, or you can also use it as a computer, electronic numerical integrated and a computer. And UNIVAC stand for universal arithmetic computer. So UNIVAC was the first commercial computer delivered to a business client, US Census Bureau, in 1951. So this was the first computer that was given to Census Bureau in United States for counting the population of United States. Next we have the machine language, is a low level language, and it is the only language that computer understand directly. Next we have fourth generation of computer, 1971 onwards. So this is the time period. So all the computers which were made after this time period, they were of fourth generation. And even nowadays which computers we are using, like personal computers, notebook, and laptops, all are fourth generation computers. And these computers, they used a chip called microprocessor. So you also know it by its another name, that is CPU, central processing unit. So this is the microprocessor chip, which is the CPU of the computer. and this CPU or microprocessor chip was used in fourth generation computers. So this chip is actually made with the help of thousands of ICs, integrated circuits, which are built on a single silicon chip. So silicon is the material which is used to develop this chip. So these computers became very powerful and they can be linked together to and from network. So fourth generation computers, they also support connectivity with a network, for example internet. Intel 404, Macintosh, IBM 360, these are the examples of fourth generation computers. And even nowadays which computers you are using, yeah, desktop computers there, laptops are there, they are fourth generation only. So the programming languages like high level languages C, C++, Java, all these languages, they were used in fourth generation computer to develop their programs. And the size of these computers is so small that they can fit anywhere on a small desk on the palm of your hand like a smartphone. So in 1981 IBM, that is the International Business Machine, so this is the company, very famous company, and they introduced the first personal computer for home users in 1984. An Apple company that you already know, it is very popular for developing the devices like Apple computers, iPhone, etc. So Apple company also introduced the first computer, Macintosh. So Macintosh computers, they were built by the Apple company. Next we have the features of fourth generation computer. So they used microprocessor, they used high level languages. These were the multiple or the multi-purpose computer, so they can be used for different purposes, that is called multi-purpose. So these computers can be used by home user, these computers can be used in schools, these computers can be used in hospitals or the government departments. So that's why they are called multi-purpose computers, and they are accurate and reliable. So whatever is calculated by these computer, it is always accurate. The operating speed of these computer is very fast. So this is the single chip or the microprocessor thicker that does all the work, or this microprocessor is also called CPU, central processing unit. Next we have the fifth generation computers, and fifth generation computers, it is under development. So present and beyond means at present the scientists or the engineers, they are working on fifth generation computers to develop such computers, like robots are there. So actually these machines are very intelligent machines, and these machines can communicate with, like us, like human beings, in natural language, and these machines are capable of learning. So they can take their own decisions also. So such computers are called fifth generation computers. They used AI. AI is the artificial intelligence. So this is the main purpose or main goal of fifth generation, that they want to develop such computers that can respond to natural language, and they are capable of learning and taking their own decisions. Next we have the advantages or the features of fifth generation. First, the fifth generation computers will use super large scale integrated chip. So this is the technology that is used in these computers. Actually this technology used to develop the CPU or the microprocessor. So some use small scale integration, some use large scale integration. Here it is using super large scale integrated chips. and they used artificial intelligence. They will be able to recognize images and graphs, so they can actually see, or they can analyze the images or graphs. The aim is to be able to solve highly complex problem including decision making. So this is the purpose for using these computers. So the complex decisions they can take. Complex means the very critical or very difficult decisions. They will be able to use more than one CPU. So because they are using super large scale integration chips, so that's why more than one CPU can be used in these computers for faster speed. And the last one is fifth generation computers are intended to work with natural language. So natural language is the human language. Any language like Hindi, English, Punjabi, all these are natural languages. So these computers can also understand these languages. So that's all in this chapter. Hope you will see this video properly and you will understand the chapter in a better way. Thank you, dear students.